Hey everybody, Jabman025 here. Today I'm taking a look at only my second perfect grade, the Strike Gundam from the series Mobile Suit Gundam Seed. This has been on my wish list for some time, bought it last year, decided finally time to take a look. So, here we go, perfect grade Strike. Now this kit comes with two manuals, which is kind of odd. The first manual is all in color, and it has pictures of the Strike, and a whole bunch of Japanese that I can't read, and some more neat pictures, and pictures from the anime, and more neat pictures, and the decal sheets on the back here. Decals are really nothing to write home about, so, oh well. And the second manual, that's for the assembly. This is all the assembly instructions, details. There you go. So when you get two manuals, that's why. First thing you're going to notice when you start building this kit is there's a ton of polycaps. For such a big kit, there are lots of little tiny polycaps all over this thing. So, this is a big build with lots of small pieces. Starting off with the feet. Other thing you'll notice is the frame on this kit is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you could look all day at the frame. I can see why now the clear version of this kit is so popular. I'd love to have one, but it costs a fortune. But a gorgeous frame on this kit. I'll armor them up. And the outer frame is nice, but quite frankly, the inner frame might look better. I do have chrome pistons in there. Lots of movement in the ankles and in the feet. One thing you're going to notice about this kit as you build it is if you think it can move, it can move. If you're not sure if it can move, it can move. If you don't think it can move, it can still probably move. The poseability on this kit is 10 out of 10. Now, they do give you some die-cast parts. This kind of reminds me of the old school Master Grade New Gundam. The die-cast parts are used in the knees and in the hips. There's only 3 parts, one for each knee and one for the hips. This does give the kit a little more weight, but mainly it's done to, really tighten up those joints. As so. Now the leg you build in 2 parts. Instead of usually building the whole leg together, you build the top part of the leg and the bottom part of the leg. This gives even more mobility to the leg itself because it now can twist at an angle, and the entire leg can move kind of sideways, which I don't know about your leg, but my leg can't do that. But they do have the alternate colors, white and bone white, that you kind of see in the real grade kits later. Remember, this came out before the real grade kit. Again, more clear pistons and more clear, silver pieces, silver pistons, silver pieces, pardon me. And lots of really neat things on this frame, which unfortunately a lot of it gets hidden by the armor. And you see here with the ankle movement, superb, excellent, anywhere you want, great movement. And this whole kit is a little on the tight side, which is actually really good for this kit. There's a lot of points where they use polycaps and a mixture of the hard plastic, which I see in a lot of big kits to help with poseability. And it does its job here. You can see full Moonwalker lean, still stays upright. That's impressive. Very well balanced kit. And you see full knee bend, ankles, feet. Yep, this thing will pose just about everywhere you want it to pose. And I love the separation of different parts on the knees. Little pistons pop out, little silver pieces pop out. Just a great looking frame on this kit. Here you see the hips. I told you that shiny part, that is the die cast. Do have variable hips here, and it does do a really big swing on these variable hips. It goes from good poseability on the back to wild over-the-top poseability in the front, which is only really good for one pose, which I'll show you later. You have opening slots. You can attach the gun later if you want to the back skirt armor. And here you see the skirt armor and legs all armored up. This kit does require some lining, but not a whole lot, quite honestly. You have the compartments here for the armor schneiders, or tiny knives, whichever you prefer. I'll show you those later. Back skirt armor, I mentioned before, that has those little openings in the back so it can connect the gun onto them if you want. And overall looks good. Like I said, the only real drawback here is the armor looks cool and I can't see most of it. The torso is a weird torso build, but also a fun torso build. You add in these clear parts for the vents in the chest, the cockpit in the inside. One neat thing I find is, you see a little Kira sitting in there. The keypad or his command console, or whatever the hell you want to call that, that moves up and out when you open the cockpit. But when you push it back in, you can push that back down, so it looks like he's, piloting it. I thought it was cool. Adding on the arms onto this is kind of odd also. You take the block here with the shoulder joint on it, which has, surprise, surprise, excellent mobility. Also surprise, it looks great. And you got the silver pistons in there. It looks really cool. And again, it uses this point where it uses a hard point and then a poly cap. So it makes the whole joint rather tight, but it works out well. Slide it in place, armor it up, and you can kind of see the neat parts of the frame underneath here. Kind of not. What you gonna do? But waist movement, great. All torso movement, excellent. Up, down, side to side, whatever you want to do, it can do it. Works great. And overall, just nice profile, nice look to it. There's something funny. This kit does have an LED in the head for the eyes, but you actually have to build the LED. I guess this was before the age where they just gave you the LED. You have to build it. So the screws, the wiring, the little LED light, and the battery, but the battery's not included. CR1220. Again, buy these online, don't buy them in a store. But that's not included. The eyes for this kit look really cool, except they're clear. So it means if you don't use the LED, you're going to have to paint that, which I did. I added some clear yellow to it to make it look all right. But it does look cool because they already come pre-assembled. That black and that clear is already done for you. Why couldn't they pre-assemble the LED? I don't know. Whatever. Put on the LED, plug in the battery, fiddle with it for a long time to get it to work right, which took me almost an hour just fiddling with that stupid LED. And you get this, which looks okay. Nothing spectacular. Okay, it's not really worth the effort. The LED light adds a little something, but it's really nothing to write home about, folks. And once all the armor on, you have to take this back piece off to actually access the switch that turns the LED on. So it's not exactly easy to put on and off either. But you see them all armored up with the LED lights. Like I said, looks fine. Not great, but fine. Yay, I guess. Turn off all my lights. See, it looks a little bit better without all those beaming lights on it, but it's still an issue of, it's nice. You probably don't have to have it. If you skip the LED, you're not missing a whole lot. Now, the arm frame. Have I mentioned this is gorgeous? This is a beautiful, beautiful kit. And here's where I was talking about earlier. At some points you didn't even think would do. The forearm has multiple joints with silver sections underneath, like lines going through them. See that full curve of the arm? My arm can't do that. My arm can't make a U shape. That is beautiful. It is gorgeous. I love this frame. Everything about it. Its poseability, its look. It's just a wonderful, wonderful frame. Armor it all up. All the different parts are moving. The gray, the off-white and the white. Like I said, full bend. Every part of this kit can move, and even some parts you didn't think could move, they can still move. And as you put it all back together, the armor slides into different places. Just a beautiful, beautiful frame. See, look at the wrist movement. Look at that. That's gorgeous. The hands on this kit are essentially real grade hands, just really big. I guess this came before real grade. The decals on this kit are all right. They're cut way too big. That's the biggest problem. The places you want to put them and the decal they give you are way too big for this kit, which you think, well, that'd be odd. This is a big kit. Shouldn't it be cut right? Not really. There's some nice decals, nothing really to write home about. Some good ones for the shoulders, and that's about it. But like I said, poseability. Anywhere you want, anything you want, not a problem. But I'm going to spread those legs out real wide. Really wild, crazy poses. Excellent balance. Excellent build. Looks good. And again, the decals. They have lots of decals that link together, one piece and then another, on parts that move when the armor moves. That's really cool. But like I said, a lot of them are just cut too big. Accessories, the armor schneiders. This comes on the exact same part tree as the hand, so real grade knives. Kind of. They can be painted silver if you really want to be a stickler, but I just left them there. Again, you can fold them up. Again, you can put them in the side skirt armor. Lock, set, ready to roll. The other accessories, you have the beam rifle, which is the best version of this beam rifle I have ever built. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. It is so, so pretty. All the little details. I mean, you could just look at this gun forever. A couple nice decals, too. That scope is already clear blue. Beautiful. Shield. It's alright. It's just basically a giant master grade shield. Maybe a little bit more detail added to it. The connection for the arm is superbly better, which I'll show you that in a bit. Has full 360 movement, so you can put it anywhere you want. Nice shield. Looks good. Little lining. And this, the Grand Slam sword. Remember all those little silver parts you've been seeing on that? Well, on the biggest part of that is this monstrosity. One gigantic knife. This knife was never used in the anime. I guess it's just kind of like a throw-in bonus weapon. Just a big old handle with a giant blade. And you see, it's actually taller than the Gundam itself. It is huge. Holding this thing requires two hands. It's kind of big and awkward and odd to use, and it's not the best posing accessory this thing has, and it's kind of a big pain. You probably won't be using it just but once to see what it looks like, and again, I'd rather use the shield and the gun. And you can see this kind of throws off its excellent balance. It's so big and awkward and to pose with. The gun, however, works great. Hooks into the hand, not too heavy, no trouble, move it anywhere you want, pose it any way you like. Absolutely gorgeous. Have I mentioned I love this gun? Again, it hooks right into the hand. The fingers really don't hold anything. It's just for awkward sake. The clip on the arm for the shield locks into the elbow. You have to open a piece and slide that in and lock it into place. This will never drop the shield. Ever. It is linked into the arm. Nice poseability, shield, gun, looks really good. Now here's what I was talking about, the kneel pose. This is the only time you really need the variable hips. You move those hips all the way forward, and it can pull off the kneeling pose. As you see there, kind of. The hips are full forward all the way up. That knee can bend, the other knee goes down, and you've got the kneeling pose. That looks cool. Not many kits can actually pull that off. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where's the ale pack? Where's the wings? Well, in this version of the Perfect Grade Strike, they released them separately to keep the price down. The Perfect Grade Strike is one of the cheaper Perfect Grades. The ale and the Sky Grasper is a separate purchase. In the Strike Rouge and other versions of this kit, they always came together, but the initial release is separate. I do have that, as you can see. I'll be reviewing it soon. Final thoughts on this kit. I'm giving this kit a big thumbs up. I love the design of this kit. It is a beautiful kit. It is a joy to build. You heard that right, a joy to build. It is a gorgeous kit. But I think this is kind of the opposite of the Unicorn. The Unicorn was about, wow, look at that. When the first time you lit up the Unicorn, it was a pain in the butt to light up, just as this is a pain in the butt to light up. But the Strike is like, the Unicorn is gorgeous. But the Unicorn is a brick. It stands there, it can barely pose, it can do anything. This thing can do any pose you can think of and some that you can't. Poseability options abound with this thing. The accessories are nice, the gun is amazing, the shield is okay, and the armor schneiders and the big sword are there. But, like I said, if you buy this, you're probably going to get the ale, which will give you more accessories, which I'll talk about in a future review. But for this kit, big thumbs up. It's one of the cheapest Perfect Grades out there. If you think you'll like it, you're probably right. You will. Excellent kit, joy to build, and it looks great. Thumbs up from me. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the review. Hope you found it informative. I know this was a real long review, but it's a perfect grade. There's a lot to talk about. It's a big kit. If you got any questions, please ask them. I'll answer them as best I can. Please stay tuned for more. I know a lot of people are asking, where's the Providence review? That's what I will be building next. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and one more thing. Are you my daddy?